Yes.
Oh.
Is it alright? We ready? Hello! BBC True Power. Again. On Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025. We've got 3 things to talk about today and we want you to carry them. We know you won't, but someday you will, when the BBC is taken over by people who care. We're going to talk about controlled opposition, creeping tyranny, and advertise our conference on Saturday at the Angel Church, Tadwell Street, Islington, 11 a.m.
Oh, there you go, just advertise it.
So, first of all, there's a lot more controlled opposition around than there used to be in the movement, and more infiltration. And we think the BBC should have an all-sided debate on this, with anybody having input, including those who we describe as controlled opposition, so they can have a chance to justify themselves. But they won't talk to us anywhere. In 2020, Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister, along with Leslie Caton, a top world PR operative, and Alan Miller, a property speculator destroying communities in the East End of London, set up the Together operation, #Together, under, of course, the Soviet Union guideline that if you want opposition, we'll provide it to you. So, Rishi Sunak set this up in order to give people an avenue in which to protest. But anyone who thinks that Rishi Sunak did this with honest intent, because it would involve defeating the New World Order tyranny which he's trying to impose, anyone who thinks he was of honest intent needs their heads examining. And we have to look at what the Together operation has done. It has recruited people into it, yes. It has said certain good things, yes. But wherever they go, they create division and then U-turn in order to destroy the real resistance. In the anti-ULEZ campaigns, there were 6 groups active. They supported and funded one of them, creating divisions with the others, refused to allow me to speak anywhere when they'd paid for platforms, even though I had the biggest fines for fighting ULEZ above everyone else. And they didn't even mention me as a candidate in the Uxbridge by-election, but mentioned other anti-ULEZ candidates. It was clearly to split. They're doing similar things in the farming movement, and they are, of course, trying the same thing now in the freedom movement, and unfortunately some people are being gullible. And they also control the publicity, because they work with GB News, which is also funded by Zionists. So GB News, for example, never had me or any other anti-ULEZ people on the BBC. They instead have Together yapheads who would do nothing other than seek publicity for themselves and exclude others. And so it goes on. If you believe Together is honest, it's a bit like believing that the Israeli government had good intent when it decided to allow polio vaccination of children in Gaza, when the next day they would be bombing them to kill them. It is insane to believe such things, but that is the nature of false opposition. And that's why we want a debate on it. And other things on Gaza, of course, things have gone a bit quiet, but in publicity, but of course I hope the BBC is ready to actually support the rights of Palestinians against a new wave of bombing. Tyranny is now upon us all around the world, and tyranny and fake science go together, because Real science requires real debate. Real debate destroys fake science, so tyranny is required to destroy real debate. And now we have the disgusting spectacle in France of Marine Le Pen being banned from being a candidate for anything for 5 years. Now, you can agree or disagree with Marine Le Pen, and I'm not saying I agree with anything she says, but democracy requires she be allowed to stand instead of being prevented under some, in fact, essentially minor excuse. So we say Marie Le Pen must be allowed to stand, and we think the BBC should debate creeping tyranny around the world with all sides involved. The third thing I want to mention is our How to Win conference on Saturday. This Saturday, April the 5th, at 11 a.m. at the Angel Church, Cadwell Street, Islington. It will include debate about 5G, about vaccine and not vaccine, and a long debate about farmers and how they're going to win. And on that, the Together operation are of course also involved. Can you hold this a second? Also involved and promoting the No Farmers, No Food slogan, which of course is what Bill Gates would say: no farmers, no food, eat bugs. So the No Farmers, No Food slogan is a subliminal manipulation of your mind, and it does not mention the key issue, climate con. Whereas we say, yes farmers, yes food, break the climate con. Okay, and I think we will end there and say thank you very much for listening. Please, someday you'll get around to having us on there along with others, all-sided debates. And to everyone around the world, we repeat, resist, defy, do not comply. Thank you, thank you, thank you.